Hi guys, I'm Lisa. Welcome to Wandering Heart Knits. Hi guys, well, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. This is my second episode. If you watched last week's episode and you're back, thank you so much for coming back. I had so much fun recording last week's episode. I couldn't wait to record again. I needed to get things finished so that I could record. So here I am. It is Sunday, January 10th. 2021, and this is episode 2, Wandering Heart Knits. I'm Lisa. I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest coast on Vancouver Island, where I live in a little town on the east coast of the island, with my family, my 2 daughters who are teenagers, 2 dogs, and a cat, and my husband. And yeah, we live in this beautiful little town close to the mountains and the forest and the ocean. And I like to knit. This is all about knitting, things I've made. So this week I just have really one finished object and I'm wearing it. I literally finished it this morning, or an hour ago. I still have ends to weave in. I have to fix the, seam up that little hole, but I'm loving it. Here, I'll see if I come up just a little, you can kind of see what I did with the colors. So I talked about this last week. This is kind of crazy because this sweater took me 2 weeks exactly. I started it on December 27th and I completed it today. That is the fastest I've ever completed a sweater. This is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Designs, and I knit it in Diamond Luxury Footloose sock yarn, which is a 75 superwash merino, 25% polyamide. That's what this is up here, this kind of speckled green. And then I realized I didn't have enough of this, so I marled it with purple, which is traditional sock yarn by Diamond Luxury, and it is a different combination, 52% wool, 41% acrylic, I don't know, 7% nylon. I can't remember the exact combo, but that's what this is. So I learned something new. I kind of thought that all of the Diamond Luxury yarns would be the same makeup, the 75 to 25 merino to polyamide. They're not. So there's a definite texture difference where just the purple is. You can't notice it as much where they're marled together. This is significantly softer, but it actually is okay because my neck is where I'm a little more sensitive to the fully itchy wool. So on my arms, I've been wearing it now for a little and it's fine. I'm not itchy at all. And so I ended up kind of counting from my marled section to see how many of the marled section I did, and I did that the same amount on the sleeves, so it ended up being 45 rows. And then I did more rows of the purple on the sleeves. So I did more rows of the purple just to finish out the sleeves. I did a tiny little ribbing. Honestly, I was worried I was playing yarn chicken. Turns out I was not. I had lots of this purple yarn left, but I didn't want to get, finish one sleeve and then find out I didn't have enough to do the other. Also, I was kind of done knitting it at this point. I wasn't 100% sure that I loved it, even when I was pulling it off the needles. I put it on. I like it. It's really unique, the color blocking. I love this color. I love the marled. I'm not a huge fan of just the straight purple, but that's okay. My youngest daughter might steal it. She said she was gonna sneak into my room in the middle of the night with binoculars or something. I don't remember. Oh, with her fake sword, she's telling me. So she said she might steal it if she steals it. We kind of have like we all kind of share some of our cardigans and sweaters, so that would be okay. That's about it with this design. I'm super excited that I finished a sweater in 2 weeks. That seems crazy to me. I did hold it double, I forgot to say that. So it worked up pretty quick. I used 5mm needles for the body, 4mm needles for the ribbing. Like I said last week, I did do less cast on to make the neck a little bit smaller, which I like a lot more. I just love it. I love the raglan detail. I will be making this sweater again. I think the next time I do it, I'll do the waist shaping that Jessie May has in her pattern, just to try it out. Yeah, so that's my finished object for this week. So last week I showed you my minimal progress on my oldest daughter Emma's Mrs. Weasley jumper. I was feeling a little guilty. I had some mom guilt because I was working so furiously on my sweater that I thought, at least if I get it to the point where I can separate for sleeves, then it looks like I've done something on it. So I did. I separated for sleeves. It looks so tiny, but it stretches. I put it on. She's smaller than me, so I put it on and it fit me. It's working up good. Now that I'm past the raglan, that's always the hardest part, right? Is the raglan and then the finishing. So now I'm just on the body. I'll be able to whip it out, no problem. It's mindless kind of stockinette stitch for now. And so I'm hoping to have that done in the next 2 weeks-ish. I say that so seriously, like I'm really motivated to get it done. I'll get it done when it gets done. Then I have to learn something new to do the duplicate stitch for the E, which is fun. I like learning new things. So that's Emma's sweater. I also learned with this, I've been using the nitpicks bamboo. I don't know if they're bamboo actually. I don't know. They're interchangeables. I like them. The join is really smooth. I almost never have an issue where they loosen or get snagged. But I thought I would try my hand at some metal needles, and whoa, I love them a lot. These are Knitter's Pride. Nova? Yeah, Nova. They're super light, but man, does the yarn just fly off these needles. So you have to be careful that you don't lose stitches, which, you know, I have, and pick them back up. Okay, I'm losing my yarn ball all over the place here. So I'm gonna keep working on this. And then I forgot last week to show that I have one other work in progress. And this is a really fun one, so I'm pulling out my bin. Maybe in November, I got an email from Nitpicks. They had some kind of sale. So I went onto their website and I ordered the complete selection of Wool of the Andes in their bulky weight. And so it gives you all the colors. I won't even get them all because I think there's 20. There were 20 colors, including a pure black and a white, and like, here, I'll just show some of them. This one looks more red on camera, but it's actually a little bit more of like a burgundy color. There's a green, a really light green. So when we got it, I was so excited. Oh yeah, look at this one. It's like I don't really know what I would call that color. They call it fairy tale. How fun is that? When we got the box and I opened it was a huge box. It was so fun to open. That was really happy yarn mail day. I realized that I had no idea what I was going to make with these things. So I thought I would make a blanket. And then I didn't know how to order the colors. That's not one of my strongest suits. I kind of like what I like, and I don't venture, you know, into yellows, or like, this is just not a color I would normally gravitate to. So I thought, I'm gonna make a blanket. And we tried, my youngest daughter and I tried putting them in order, different kind of variations and fades. And then we put all of the skeins in the box, and she just randomly pulled them out one at a time. And that actually turned out to be the one we went with. So I wrote down all the colors in the order that we're gonna do it. And so I'm making, I just wanna make sure I don't drop a bunch of stitches here. Okay, there we go. I'm doing it on my circular needles, but obviously it's not going to be circular because it's a blanket, it's open here. So I'm doing a super simple knit stitch blanket. So it's knit stitch on the front, purls on the back, and then the edging I'm doing as I go in a garter stitch. Really easy. It's working up really fast because it's so big. I think I didn't put enough garter stitch on the bottom because it's still rolling up. So I will go back in at the end when I finished and use that same blue and add in a couple more rows. I'll just pick up stitches. No big deal. So right now it's very retro looking to me, very 70s, but I like it. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be really big. It doesn't look, you know, it's hard to tell how big it is, but it's bigger than my arm span, which, let's be honest, I'm only 5 feet tall, just a little over. So my wingspan is not huge, but it's at least 5.5 feet, maybe 6 feet long, which I'm really excited about. So I have that on the go. That's kind of something I pick up, you know, once in a while when it's easy to do. And I'm going to just keep repeating the colors once I get, you know, all of them in. I'll just repeat them again. And I've already used the orange and I have so much left. I was just thinking I don't know the name of all these colors, but I do because I wrote them down and I went in order. It's all good. That is the Nitpicks Wool of the Andes, and I'm doing that on 8mm needles, also from Nitpicks, which again, I said I like them. The cord is nice and flexible. They're kind of cool. I like those needles. They were the first ones I tried. I did try some really cheap plastic corded ones from Walmart. They were not good. There's no flexibility. I like to magic loop, so I need a little bit of a bendy cord. So I have, I guess it's technically a work in progress, but it's going to be frogged. Ribbit, ribbit. So I got super excited when I found this pattern. I'll have to find the name of the person who made it, but it is the Christmas tree sweater. I don't know if you can, oh, you can see how beautiful they are. Okay, so I started, I've never done a bottom up sweater, and I don't know what I was thinking. Look at this. It's humongous. Like, it's not even stretched all the way. It's so big. I was so focused on making the trees, and oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. You can see the trees. It's a little cable that you do to do the trees. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, she has mittens like this, and I believe a hat or socks. I'll put the name of the designer on the screen. So I got this far up on the trees, and because when you're working on it, it's kind of bunched up and you're not seeing it all the way open. When I got to being done the trees and I pulled it open, I realized, you know, 2 of me could wear this. I am all for an oversized sweater. This is too much. So I'm gonna frog it and redo it. I have to go all the way back, redo all the trees, but I guess practice makes awesome. I don't know, not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Practice makes progress. So, oh, there's lots of dog fur in this one. I'm gonna turn it around. There's not as much on that side. Yeah, so that's something that I will be working on. It's technically a work in progress. And that's kind of all the whips, finished objects that I have. I'm just gonna open my drink. I should have done that before, but I'm thirsty. Okay, so one of the things I kind of thought would be fun to do was to show a little bit of how I organize my yarn and the yarn I have. So I use this little cart because where my chair is, where I'm sitting right now, is not actually where I keep my chair. I keep my chair on the other side of the room facing the TV. I just like this look better with my yarn behind me. There's good lighting, the tree is here. It's pretty. So I use this little cart, and on the top shelf is usually, I keep some hand lotion, it's my beverage center, and any pens or anything that I might need. I have my little notebook, which I'll show you in a minute. On the second level, which you can't see, and I'm not going to move the camera because I like where it is, I have my yarn bowl. So this was a hand turned yellow cedar yarn bowl that my friend William made me. It's lovely. It smells like cedar, so the yarn, when it's sitting in there, gets a cedary smell. So I keep my yarn bowl. I have I keep a little container with all my needles just because I think it looks pretty like that. I like it a lot. My notions, so I am looking for a better way of keeping my notions. I have these really cute cocoa knits, and little round ones. They're super cute. They're metal, they're light though, really nice. And you know, a good old Altoids tin, whoops, full of rings and my keys for my interchangeable needles, the little safety clip ones, big rings, the stoppers, needle stoppers, my darning needles, kind of the rest of my stuff is in there. I realized that I don't have any progress keepers, which I would like to either get or make myself. So if you know of anyone who makes really great progress keepers, really cute ones, let me know in the comments. I would love to get some. And on that shelf is also my extra cords. I kind of wrap them up. And I also keep my non-interchange, I guess they call them fixed circulars, wrapped up there. I have a pair of scissors. These are huge. They're my sewing scissors. They're way too big for this, but they were the ones I could find. They're nice and sharp. Sorry, my daughter is in the corner watching me, laughing her little face off. And a pen. And on my bottom shelf is where I keep my daughter's project, because it was not in the yarn bowl because I wasn't working on it. I keep patterns that I put, like the pattern I'm working on, I put it in a sleeve so I can write on it. You can see I use a Sharpie, or I write on things, and it's really easy for me to keep track of what I'm doing. And then I have some pattern books. So I got this book for Christmas, the Saltwater Classics book. It's gorgeous. I'm not ready to make any of these things. Not yet. It's funny because I can knit a sweater, but this means nothing to me, these charts. No idea what it is, what it means. So I have some learning to do, which again is fun. If you know, because I really want to make some mittens, if you know of any really good mitten patterns, easy beginner friendly mitten patterns, please let me know in the comments. I would love to get some mittens. I also got this Modern Heritage Knits for Christmas. It is stunning. It's by Christina Dene. The E's kind of look like L's. There's a couple things in here that I'm super excited to try. So maybe a shawl. I don't have a shawl yet, but you know, this is just beautiful. There's lots of really pretty things in here. Most of them I think I could do. There are charts. I do much better with things that are written, the instructions that are written, than the charts. This is beautiful. I wouldn't mind making that really pretty tank top. So I keep that in there. I have my magic knitting magic Harry Potter book in there. And I also have, oh, it's not gonna come out, my binder. So I printed out my patterns that I had purchased, and I put them in my binder, and then when I'm doing a pattern, I use these little plastic sleeves to put them in. So it's really easy. I keep all of that nearby. Oh, I also just got a gauge measurer? I don't know. A gauge measurer with a needle sizing chart. That's really fun. I measured my gauge, and I was, on most of my things that I made, I was pretty much spot on without ever doing a gauge swatch. But I learned with my purple sweater, gauging is probably important. So those are the things I keep with me kind of all the time when I'm knitting, so that I have everything that I need close by. And then I wanted to talk about my yarn. So I have, this is my wool of the Andes that I'm gonna finish, the bulky for that blanket. That's gonna take me a while. That's not a rush to finish project. I'm working on that one as I go. And I got these little glass fish bowls because, you know, they look pretty to display. So I have some nitpicks Muse fingering. This one's called Delight Speckle. It's 100 grams, 423 yards. And it's 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I had a plan with these 3. There's a 4th one, but it's just not my favorite. There's another Muse, Poetic, same fingering weight, 75-25. And it's more of a solid purple. There are variants, but it's not as speckly. And then this one is called Thrill, same everything else. I kind of had this idea to do a fade sweater, similar, you know, kind of an Andrea Mowry take. She's got that fade sweater, but I was thinking I would just make a pattern and figure out the fade on my own. And then I decided that the 3 of these together weren't my favorite. I don't know, they're just not, I think this one's too white and this one's got more red in it than I love. So they're now in my bowl. They look pretty on the shelf. I might make socks or a scarf. I'm looking for a shawl pattern, so if you have a simple shawl. I'm not a big fan of really detailed fancy shawls. Like, it can be lacy or have some detail but still pretty simplistic. They might be pretty for that, or they're gonna end up as socks, which is good too, or a scarf, something simple. And I have my Leo and Roxy, which I showed you last week because it's just so beautiful. And then this week in the mail I got my I ordered some Ravenswood Fiber Co. I think it's backwards on there, sorry. And this colorway is called Behind Closed Doors. Oh, I love it. I literally squealed when I got this in the mail. And it came vacuum sealed, which was just extra fun. I went back and ordered more. I ordered her Firefly colorway because this is stunning. It is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon, 400 meters or 100 grams. You can see the slight variations. This one's a little more blue and purple, and this one has this really pretty kind of pinky red. What I thought I would do is some combination of a sweater with these 4. So using, is it helidical knitting, where you kind of do one row at a time, switching between the balls of yarn, so that you don't get pooling, you don't get really dramatic lines. I think they'll fade together really nicely. So I'm trying to decide. I have a few pattern ideas. I just saw in a podcast, and I can't remember the podcast, but I will post the name of it, just this morning, the Lizzie sweater by Susanne Sommers. So, I might be wrong, so I'm gonna put it down below, but it's called the Lizzie sweater, and it's really beautiful. It has this very like speckly yarn, brioche-ish diamonds, and then a solid color, but I thought it would look just really beautiful with these four all together with the diamonds. I have another pattern. I'll put a picture in here. I can't remember what it's called either, or who it's by, but I'll put a picture. I'll put the thing, and it's got open, it's like a lacy diamond pattern, and it would be really beautiful. She kind of uses colors like this in her sample for her design, her pattern. So it would be really beautiful. My daughter told me I should just do another Felix cardigan, but this time do it in the round and make it a pullover. That would be beautiful. If you have any ideas of fingering weight, flax light I was looking at, that would be really beautiful in this. There are so many. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I would love to hear your suggestions on how I could use this beautiful yarn for a sweater. This will be my next cast on whatever design I end up going with. And I do have one skein of another Leo and Roxy color. This color is Ice Ice Baby. What? I didn't even know that's what it was called. For all you 80s and 90s babies, Vanilla Ice Ice Baby. Okay, that's fun. I forgot to tell you the color of this one is Purple Haze. Lovely. My daughter's laughing her little face off at me. And I have, so those are the things, that's the next project I want to work on, because I have my purple Christmas tree sweater that I have to frog. I have Emma's Mrs. Weasley jumper, the blanket, the Leo and Roxy plus Ravenswood Co. Sweater of some sort, not sure which one. And I also want to make mittens. So I'm going to show you this. I got this beautiful yarn. This is 100% wool, baby doll blended with, I'm not going to say this properly, Rambouillet. I'm not sure what that is. It says 2-ply, 1/4 pound. This is from a local farm. It's called Yellow Point Farms, close to where I live. They shear their sheep, then they send the wool and it gets spun off-site. So you can see it's pretty good. It's like at least DK, maybe worsted. And it's rustic. It's too rustic for me to make pretty much anything that will go near my neck. It's so pretty though, this beautiful gray. It smells super sheepy, which is fun. I love the smell actually. Super sheepy. It smells really good. So I thought I could make mittens. The other thing I was thinking was those socks that Knitting Traditions, Inga from Knitting Traditions has been making. She made a bunch of pairs for Christmas. I think that would be fun. I don't know how much a 1/4 pound is in yards or grams. I could get my scale out. Oh, I guess a 1/4 pound. No, I don't know. I don't know grams. So I'll have to look it up. I'll have to go to my kitchen scale and try it. So I think mittens or like house socks, but mittens would be really nice with this. It'd be so warm. So again, if you have a mittens pattern that I could use both of these for, because I only have one of each. And I don't know if I could get one pair of mittens out of just one color. So maybe a little color work. It's very grippy, so I think it would be good for color work. It would be nice. So that's something I would like to do. And just seeing what else I have here in my stash. I have a lot of leftovers. All of these are actually leftovers from sweaters I've already completed. And I don't really know. I'm thinking It might be fun to make something with all of them, like a shawl or a long scarf, or maybe even a blanket, but I have a blanket going, so maybe something else. And there's more than just this that is left over from other projects I've worked on. Up on my very top shelf, I have other little fish bowls full of balls of yarn that were leftovers. So I have quite a bit. If you have a project that you've made with leftovers, most of this is worsted. There's a little bit of DK, but most of it's worsted. So it would work up pretty fast. If you have any ideas, again, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your suggestions. And then I got the most brilliant suggestion in my comment section of my video from last week. So if you remember, if you haven't watched, I made my very first sweater was the Fern and Feather pullover, colorwork pullover by Jennifer Steingass. It's this beautiful kind of tweedy greenish teal with a white for the fern and feathers. And what happened was the neckline was really big, so I never wore it. I think I wore it once. And one of you suggested that I pick up the stitches along the neckline and just add some ribbing. And it was so smart. I thought, well, why didn't I think of that before? But I didn't, so thank you. I'm going to do that. That's on my project list probably this week because it won't take very much time. And then I can enjoy that sweater and use it and wear it while it's still chilly out here. And yeah, we had some crazy weather last weekend. It rained and rained and rained. More rain than I've seen here in a long time. It's supposed to do that again this week, but we did get a break on Friday afternoon. The sun came out, so I went to the beach. I took some photos and video, which I will include here at the end of the video. And I took my dogs out today, and it was foggy and misty, and so we got some photos of that. And yeah, I think that's all I had for today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're getting lots of time to knit and you're finding 2021 not too overwhelming already. Oh yes, where can you find me? I forgot to do that last time. I forgot to do the obligatory, don't forget to push the thumbs up and subscribe so you can see when I release another video. And you can find me on Instagram as Wandering Heart Knits and on Ravelry as My Wandering Heart. I'll post all of this stuff in the show notes today. All the patterns that I talked about will be included in the show notes, the links to where you can find me and the yarn that I have been using. You'll be able to find all of that information below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a fantastic week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.